Hello, shining ones. Magik here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. Today's message, it's the magic language of Zoroaster. If you're brand new to the channel, Magik was named after the Magi, the Zoroastrian priest. And I want to share with you something that happened to me last night in that place between awake and asleep, in that meditative state. Something that's happened to me countless times. And in that place, my friends, you can go through time and space. If I can share just a couple quick stories so you can wrap your mind around this. Many years ago, my son was at my ex-wife's house. I'll make this short because I know a lot of you have already heard this story, but just so the new people can understand this. And my son was going down the driveway and was about to shoot out into the street like he always did. But there was a car parked there that blocked his view, and there was another car speeding down. And my ex-wife was sitting there watching it all unfold. They would have hit, but he bounced off of an invisible wall, she said. She said it didn't physically make sense what happened. And that morning, I was in that place between awake and asleep in meditation, and Spirit took me to the bottom of that driveway and had me put up an invisible wall. And so there's things we can do. I've had other instances where my soul contacted another soul, and a healing took place. And then when I saw that person later that day, they're all, I felt you there. I heard you there. And they were completely healed, my friends. And so last night, I was taken to this family, and I was explaining what I'm about to explain to you about the language of Magik. And it's a frequency. It's a language of spirit. And spirit makes form and matter. And so I was teaching them how to make a better form and matter in their life, a better world for themselves, for their family, but by speaking the correct language. Now, let me read this to you real quick. The title's Magik. This is from the Denkart. This is from the Avesta, the holy text of the Zoroastrians. And it says, thought of spirit, let the forms alone. So if you're dealing with maybe sickness and disease, or poverty and lack, or violent evil people, or whatever the thing is, leave the form and matter alone. That's not what we're going to deal with. It says, let the forms alone. Don't try to change them. They change themselves by our recognition of spirit. The form and matter will change itself by our recognition of spirit. What does that mean? Again, I'm not going to read to you all out of the Denkart because it's very much like ancient text. It's these and thous and verilies. And I don't want your eyes to glaze over and you click off this video because someone needs to hear this. But I'm just going to make this real simple. If there is a group of people and they hold on to a spirit, an idea, a story that they all agree on, my friends, it makes, what's the best word? It makes their gods or goddesses, that rule over that area. Coming from California, you see this so clear, especially when you get away from it. I was born and raised in Southern California. Not a great place, San Bernardino, California, pretty rough. And there's definitely spirits or, gods or devils or goddesses or whatever, but they'd rule over certain areas. And now when I go back into there, I can feel them so strong. Maybe spirits of lust and violence and poverty and anger. And it's very oppressive. And you'll see it actually acted out in the people, in their mannerisms, in the way they speak. It can be just a section of land, but they all take on that same spirit that they've created. And they talk the same and they act the same. My friends, it's wild. It's wild when you come back and look at it and see it. But what it is, they've created gods. And I use that term lightly because in our religion, God means the highest principle of good. But I think we see now that isn't the term gods. People have gods that get jealous, angry, hate, war, kill men, women, and children, bloody sacrifices, right? They can send sickness and disease, things that aren't the highest principle of good, but they call them gods. It's the wrong term. But I think people understand what I'm saying here. And so what I was trying to teach these people, that family and that place between awake and asleep, is start with just your home, your atmosphere. Start with just your heart. And it's the spirit that we hold, that we believe in, that we invoke, that we align and attune ourselves with. My friends, in this language of Zoroaster, it's not spoken yet. This is all taking place in that divine spark, in that heart of hearts, where that divine infinite wisdom is, where you actually know the difference, because you might not know right here in your head the difference between good and bad. And you see that with the world religions. My friends, right? They got gods that aren't the highest principle of good. And so their mind is confused. You're not going to get to the highest principle of God good from here. You're not going to create your good world, find your magic and your miracle here. You're going to have to go here to that divine spark. And there, spirit to spirit, you'll connect with that pure spirit, that pure light, that pure love, unmixed, undefiled, undiluted. My friends, and then that's where our magic comes from. It'll start to literally change you. And then it'll change your family. And it'll change your home. And then as more people come together that we call Ashavans, that have attuned to and know this truth, right? Now we start to create that God. We bring that God to life, to form, to matter. So today, start to speak that language of truth, of Asha. And watch your world start to change. Hold that pure spirit. And if you're dealing with a negative situation, my friends, if it's a spirit of lust or perversion, right? You hold its opposite. Hold a spirit of contentment and purity. If there's a spirit of anger and violence, hold the opposite. Hold the spirit of love and kindness. If there's a spirit of lack and poverty, hold the opposite, a spirit of wealth, a wealth-mindedness. My friends, that I am a child of the King, and there's infinite intelligence inside of me that can guide me and lead me. Well, what school do I need to go to? Who do I need to meet, have a divine appointment with? If there's a sickness or disease, hold the spirit of wholeness and health, and then start speaking your spells. I am divine life, and death cannot enter. I'm divine health, and sickness and disease dies when it touches me. There's a light in me and around me that evil cannot enter. My friends, and that's where our power comes from.